I'm Tina McDonald, artist in residence with Imagine Crafts. Today's tutorial is going to be using the StazOn Studio Glaze to create a mixed media style scrapbook page. We'll be combining this product along with some others to create a fun background for your next mixed media page. My background is a plain piece of white cardstock from Spellbinders, and I'm using the largest die from the Spellbinders Grand Circles as my template. I'm just going to use this as a guide as to where I want the basics of my design to go. So I'm going to squirt a little bit of the Emerald City Studio Glaze onto my mat, and I'm going to spritz it with water. I'm going to be using this onto my canvas here on my page, but I'm going to use a pencil and outline this circle just so I have a guide as to where I want my coloring to go. So using a back and forth, almost scribbling motion, I'm going to fill in the basics of the circle here. I'm also going to allow it to go on the outside. We don't want it too neat. We want a real fun random look about this. Once I get my color applied, I'm going to take a baby wipe and I'm going to blot this and smudge it just a little bit to give it a more even texture. Continue until you get the look that you want. Now I'm going to take some stencils and I'm going to be using the Memento Luxe ink, and I'm going to add a little bit of contrast using this ink through my stencils. I'm using here an arrow stencil, and I'm also going to use the chicken wire stencil as well. This gives some fun contrast, and I absolutely love the tealish color with the black. I kept turning the stencil and doing it in a circular motion so as to try to incorporate the circle that I had stenciled with the pencil using the Spellbinders die template. So when I have finished that, I went ahead with my sewing machine and I did some stitching around the outside of that circle in quite a random style. Now I'm going to be taking the St. Valentine Studio Glaze, and I'm going to again add some water to it, and I'm going to be stamping with it, but first I'm going to put some splatters onto my background. So taking my paintbrush, I'm just going to tap it to give lots of fun splotches onto my page. Once I've done that, I'm going to then add my stamp into the wet Studio Glaze with water, and this is not going to give a crisp image, but it's going to give some fun texture to the page. Once I have it stamped, I'm going to again blot it using my baby wipe. I wanted to add some more of the red, so I'm going to use the irRESISTible texture spray in Ladybug. And I'm going to open the bottle and drop directly from the nozzle onto my page, as well as actually pour some directly from the bottle to give a nice bigger blotch. I'm going to take my baby wipe, and as you can see, that gives a lot of fun texture there as well. Add a little bit more to the other side according to where my photo is going to go. You can leave it just as it is, or you can blot it and it gives a little bit more of a blended look to it. I'm also going to add some of the texture spray in Tuxedo Black next to give once again some more contrast. Open up the bottle and add some drops, as well as pour some directly on. This bigger blotch that I've added here, you could leave it as it is. I wanted to get it to run, but I wasn't quite happy with how it did, so I blotted it out. A little bit more stamping taking place with another stamp from Stampendous and the Memento Luxe ink in Tuxedo Black. Now I've got a chipboard circle here that I've cut using my Spellbinders dies, and I'm just going to add the Studio Glaze to it. By the time I add 2 coats, it gives a nice thick textured look to this ring that I can then use on my page. And that completes the background tutorial for today's project. Thanks so much for watching. For more project ideas, be sure to follow Imagine Crafts on Facebook, Pinterest, and at imaginecrafts.com. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the space provided below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks again, and have a great day.